they're sitting having a smoke on the front porch, and it starts to rain. And one of them pulls a condom out of her purse and snips off the end with some scissors and puts it on her cigarette. And the other one's like, wow, what is that? It's protecting your cigarette from the rain. And she goes, it's a condom. You can get it at any local drugstore. So the old lady says, okay, I'll go and check it out. So she goes to the drugstore and she says to the guy, I need a pack of condoms. And he goes, what size? And she goes, oh, big enough for a camel.
Oh. That was unexpected.
Yeah,
I
wasn't ready for it.
Oh my god, that was good. I think that was half bourbon, half spit. Oh my god.
Yeah, I tried to time it so y'all weren't drinking when I had the punchline.
So good. I always have I'm drinking something when someone tells a joke, and I constantly have the drink coming through the nose issue.
That burns, man. Depending
it hurts.
on the drink.
It's definitely anything that's got bubbles.
Yep.
Never a good feeling.
Wow, Kevin, 2 days in a row I see you on a pod. That's awesome. Hi, Kevin.
That's the man right there.
Yeah.
The engineer.
Yeah, I was on with him last week.
Nice.
He's awesome. Sam, let me ask you this. I've only had that happen on a couple of occasions where you laugh so hard as you're drinking something and then comes out of the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had the really this is going to sound weird, but you know how that happens and it's not just the water or whatever it was that you were drinking. It's everything that was in your sinus cavity decided to come out with it.
Yeah.
I had that happen once at work, and that was one of the most embarrassing and sad moments probably of my life. And I no longer work at that place anymore, so thankfully got away from those people. But
nice. The worst is when you do it and you're wearing a light colored shirt and you're just
man.
No, it's coffee and boogers. It's the bad mix.
There's no coming back from that.
There's no coming back. I'm I swear I'm a classy lady, guys. But just
anybody got a Tide pin? Tide pin, anybody?
Jay Mike, you say you no longer work there, but is that the reason you no longer work there?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, you kind of just, skated by on that.
Hey, let bygones be bygones, my guy.
It was in a big meeting, and you were presenting, and then all of a sudden someone made you laugh.
That promotion, that interview for that promotion just didn't quite happen like I wanted it to.
There you go.
All right. Well, guess what? We're live. It's the open bar. We're 1 day before Hump Day, but we got all the camel jokes tonight. All right. Just you wait until we have ourselves a camel draft, a camel joke draft. Everyone's been prepared for tonight, specifically with their camel joke.
Camel joke.
Yep, I know. So Katie got hers. Katie got hers out of the way. We're gonna get to you in a second here, Sam. Okay, so start googling camel jokes. It's Tuesday, man. 9:30 Eastern ish. Couple weeks off. J Mike, how you feel, brother?
Feeling refreshed, renewed. Washed myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. And no, not really, but I did spend some time at a lake in Michigan, and it was glorious, and grateful for that time. Grateful for the renewal of the mind, man. It was necessary, and so I'm just really pleased to be back with you. Really pleased with the folks that we have tonight. Really excited about the surprises that we have for tonight, and excited about just seeing where the evening goes. But excited to be here. Great company. Couple of veterans to the show. We got a newbie with us, and I'm excited. So it'll be a great night. How you feeling, man?
Look, we took 2 weeks off. I felt like we missed everything. So much happens in this off season, and especially a COVID-19 season. There's just too much to cover. So we got to get right into it. I can't waste any time. And we are going to introduce our guests. And speaking of surprises, we're going to start with Sam, because she is a newcomer to the open bar. All right. We got to pay our respect to the newcomers, the noobs, the N00Bs. Sam, how are you doing tonight? What's
doing
good?
Great. I'm so excited to join you guys. I know that it didn't work out one time. I was supposed to be on a while ago with Casey, and a bunch of stuff happened. I wasn't able to join, but I'm so excited to be here tonight and then to get to hang out with Kate and Jen again, which is awesome too. Lovely to see you ladies. Anytime I can jump on a pod and, was promised some shenanigans, I get to drink. We're going to have a good time. I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
It's really too easy. I mean, you just show up and pod. Now I agree with your intro almost entirely, but you said, I'm here to hang out with, you guys, Katie, Jen, but you seem to be missing someone. Did you not realize that we had Lauren here? I don't know.
Hello, someone said
drinking. No.
I'm here. Okay.
Oh
Hello,
no!
ladies
This is
and
why we can't
gentlemen.
do surprises, J. Mike. SML, you got the robot infection here. Your audio is all sorts of different on my end. Yep.
Yo, but the energy and the vibe that she
But
just
the
came
energy.
in with,
Dude, full
that was
force.
so
I love
necessary.
Lauren.
Indeed.
Unstoppable force that is Lauren.
Big
All
fan.
right. Well, so there's your surprise for you, Sam.
Yay.
We always, bless our newcomers with one surprise guest. That's something we do every single week on the open bar. Every single time. We've never missed that opportunity. So there you go.
Nice. I'm excited. I love Lauren. We just had her on one of our shows last week. Got to do a podcast with her not long ago. One of the podathons, the one for mental health. So I got to be on with her too. So it was a lot of fun.
I know the demon is back. How about now?
You're much better now.
Hey.
Yay! Awesome. So I do have this. My microphone is possessed. So every once in a while, there's a demon that's like, oh, blah, 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 like right in the background. And it's really, really gnarly. It tries to steal my thunder every time I try to be cool and hang out with y'all. But yeah, Sam was like, yeah, hanging out with friends drinking. And I was like, oh, what was that? Did you say drinking? I'm here. Hi.
Friends part does not matter whatsoever.
Woo! It totally does.
It so
Totally
does. Lauren and I are
Ask
different.
FF Man Bun. He's like, hey, do you want to come on like real quick? And I'm like, I'm so tired. I just got back from vacation.
I don't
Let me see if I can try to help you. By the way, who's going to be on? And he said the list of names. I'm like, I'll be ready in a half an hour. Give me a minute.
Nice.
Yep.
Because I have my Chackney going like right here. I've got my forward wispies. Sam, you and I have these
We
things
have
going on.
babies always.
I did bathe, but I did not do my hair. So I'm sorry for y'all, but that's just how it goes.
Hey, look,
so.
that's all
Hi.
right. We got a couple of FF forward wispies with us tonight. Sam and SML. Welcome back to the show, Stepmom Lauren. Good to have
Hey.
you. Thank you for the improvised appearance and the surprise. We're never going to do a surprise again, J. Mike.
It's just my fault. It's just my fault.
I'm just trying to get my
That's the
whiskeys
fun of
together.
Trying to
it.
get
Get
that
your whiskeys
whiskey.
in, J. Mike.
I mean, my
Yeah.
whiskeys just don't do like y'all do. Quite. I need a
Wow.
Whiskeys.
relaxer.
I
or
think I
something.
lost
Burn.
these. I think I lost these a while ago when I went through like massive stress, and they're like hair loss. So now I'm like really good with my vitamins. So it's like, oh, I guess we'll grow back. And now they're just very awkward. So it looks like I have very, very bad bangs.
Yeah.
It
It's
looks
like a
I
sheer.
went to- Yeah, it's like my
sheer
dog
person.
did my. Yeah, it's like my dog did my COVID haircut. It's not pretty. So I just let them have their own mind, and it just covers up my bald spots, like right there. So I try to do one of these and look all sly.
I was going
But
to
I
say,
like how my actual hair like doesn't, because I have a lot of hair and it's like stuck up here, but it disappears in the TV. So I just look like a big face with a giant forehead and Chackney. Hi,
you're going to have to
Step on
explain to
one.
me what Chackney is here.
chin
Chin
acne.
acne.
Chin acne. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
So but cheeks also start with a CH. So is that still a thing? Is that still
I don't know,
apply?
because I feel like the chin is a little bit more like prone, especially with our face mask life that we live right now.
Yeah.
You know, because I've got like really cute scarves for my face mask covering, but then it's like rubbing all over my face. So I rarely wear makeup now, which is good. But it has rubbed into my pores, which are complaining at the moment. And they're like, man, no, I don't like it. Exfoliate.
Plus, you breathe into your mask and you get this like heat mist, which just kind
yeah.
of bakes your whole bottom face.
Yes.
I've got the
Which was awesome in Colorado because apparently they haven't heard of humidity. But in Florida, where I live, it sucks. Yeah, because I'm like, oh, I'm breathing in hell coming into it. Hi, Peter.
All right. And transitions, because Lauren said Colorado. So let's go to our other guest here, or this way.
I can point down at you, Jen.
Yeah, there we go. Jen, welcome
Hi.
back to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. I am, it's been a crazy few days here in the world, the football world, the everything world. But yeah, no, I'm great.
I never thought that we would live to see opt-out season. Like it's always about kind of whether, we're always looking for, I don't know, some third round tender to be signed by so-and-so, like that we don't really care about, but we actually care about so much. And now we're like an opt-out season. We're
in opt-out season. We're in reserve / COVID IR season. I mean, it's crazy. And I was recently appointed the 4-for-4 COVID officer, which is a very exciting title to now have.
Okay.
So I have to update the tracker. It's constant of something, whether someone's on this list, that list. It's pretty nuts. Not something that I'm normally doing in July.
Is that in your bio, your Twitter bio?
I didn't put it on there. I've
Okay.
got a lot there. So no, and I'm hoping it's a short-lived position / title. I already told the powers that be that in season I'm too busy. I'm not doing that. I will do the tracker up until, but I'm not getting up on Sundays at whatever time and dealing with the COVID IR. It's not happening. But no, I mean, hopefully it's a short-lived thing for all of us. But it's pretty nuts. I mean, to add,
Wait a minute. You require sleep?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. I do. Yeah.
I feel you.
Huh.
I feel you.
Yeah. I'm old. I have a kid. I absolutely require sleep.
Starting to understand that part of my life. Well,
Yeah.
Welcome.
And it's and then it gets. I mean, when they're first born, I mean, you have a little one, right? Like a little.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you kind of can get. You don't have to really sleep then. You just kind of, But then once they get older, it's like okay, and then you get older, and it's just like okay, please sleep for hours at a time.
Yeah, that's the bummer part about time. As they get older, you unfortunately do as well.
Yeah,
you can't
that is a
somehow
bummer.
start skipping years of age. Yeah. Well, okay. Jen, you said we weren't going to talk about
I know. No more.
That went from it went from really deep and philosophical, like as we age, so do our children, then to immediately depressing.
I know.
I'm old too, and I don't have kids, so I'm just straight up old for no reason. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I need sleep because I am human. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean,
She
we
said
wouldn't
old
know
for no
you if
reason.
you were just Mom Lauren. We wouldn't.
I know. Yeah.
We wouldn't have the same.
I cheated the system. I married my husband, and his two children were 11 and 15 when they moved in with us 3 months after we got married. So I skipped all of that. And yes, I got the hard years of like 15 and 11, but sleeping was never an issue. No, it was like, are they dead? Because it's 1 and they're not awake yet. Like, we're not sure what to do.
I've got a better plan. I'm almost 56 years old. And even though I love kids, I've got lots of nieces and nephews. I have never been blessed to have children of my own. I'm going to wait until I'm closer to 60 to get married. And then I'm just going to go for Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have, the man's going to have kids and already have grandkids. So
There you go.
that's,
I like
that's
that
my
plan.
goal.
I think that's a
Yeah.
solid plan.
Instagram. I get it.
Instagram,
I love
you get it?
that.
I love
I
it.
get it.
Seconds late there, but
I got it. And I was like, wait, is that what she's saying? It is. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Got it.
None other than
2020.
Katie Flower
Bro.
could drop that joke and let it live. I guess I'll
2020
take that
hit
opportunity to welcome you to the show. Sorry, J. Mike.
Thank you.
No.
It was a pleasant surprise to get your text message last night. And I've got to say that over the last month, it's been tough I've had a few friends over here and there, grilling and chilling on the back patio, drinking way too much. I had vacation the week of the 13th. My nephew was here, 22 years old. We finally got to have our first legal drink together, although I've been drinking with him since he was a young pup. But I drank almost a gallon of rum while I was on vacation, and I was I was just about to go into a self-proclaimed detox, but I had to waive that for tonight. And so this is the first drink that I've had since the end of my vacation, since a week ago Sunday, and I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. So glad to be here with these wonderful ladies on Ladies Night, and to see J. Mike and Gabe. Last time I saw you, Gabe, you were with child, and now you've got a beautiful little baby, and the family's growing. The dynasty is growing, which is awesome. And I want to give a shout out. I saw Tyler and Shane both say hey to me on the chat. So hey back, guys, and hey to everybody else that's listening. And let's have some fun.
Indeed. A gallon of rum.
Yeah.
That's pirate level if I've ever heard it.
I would be
Pirate
hospitalized for like a month.
You are speaking.
We were
For
working.
vodka,
We
and
were
we
working
are
every
right
morning
there.
from 7 o'clock in the morning till 2:30 on some woodworking projects. We built a pergola. We built a couple of things around my house. And then by 3 o'clock, we were in the pool. And we were in the pool until time to grill. Then we'd get out. I'd grill dinner, steaks, whatever. And then we'd be back in the pool and more rum punch. And rum punch was my
Can I
drink
come
of-
over?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I am really handy. I am super handy with power tools, girl. I will bring my own screw gun and my own impact driver. I got my own circular saw. I am right there. Let's build
Just bring
things and drink in the
yourself,
pool.
I'm 100%
I'm
down
in.
too.
I've got
Yes.
the whole workshop in my garage, so just come on over. And guys, just bring your wood.
Ah, yeah.
Bring your lumber.
My Wendell.
I was
My
going to say,
Wendell?
Bring your big timber.
Bring
Or,
my Wendell.
I don't know. Bring your buddy Danny Woodhead. I'm sure he's invited too.
Danny Woodhead is always invited.
There's so many great.
Always.
Always.
Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel.
Poor Daniel.
Wow. J. Mike. I always
Like,
I
why
always-
are we having ladies' night again? This is horrible.
No. See, the complete opposite, because we're usually like toxic and sometimes, well, you know, it's hard to find the ladies sometimes to, or at least, 4 of them to bring onto the show. So when we have this group of guys and it just, bleeds into this toxic show, you know how J. Mike is. He just goes off the rails and he starts
So
talking about
inappropriate.
who knows. He's so inappropriate. Absolutely. And so
Sam and I are in a league,
once
and
we
our
get started.
Oh man, Sam and I are in a league, and our chat group divulged, what's the word I'm looking for? Devolved into. It started from draft order to boobs to facial hair to women have to grow beards and men need moobs. It was a very interesting conversation.
It was an escalation that happened more quickly than I think any of us anticipated. It went from, draft order to draft order based on boob size, and then all of us listing our boob sizes, and then why I had the latest pick and someone else had the earliest
Left
pick.
one is way bigger than the right one, just saying.
It always is. It
Always.
But
Actually, I will
tell me
say
about it.
Mine are the opposite. The right one.
Really? Yeah, right, left.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh.
left-handed?
I am.
A
Jenna-
unicorn.
There you
I'm
go.
left-handed.
See, I'm right-handed, so it's the left. So if you're left-handed, it's usually the right.
J.
Learn
Mike,
something new
look how
every
much
day.
we're learning. This is great.
I know.
I have a question. Because
My beard game is not strong. Mustache game, awesome. Call me Tom Selleck. I can rock that, but I can't do a beard.
I get
I can't grow a
wispy,
beard.
a 12-year-old couple hairs down here that I have to just
I get a giant eyebrow hair that comes out over here like Nessie and wants to eat people, and then I have to get rid of that. Yeah.
Mine curls backwards, so I don't find it until way too late.
Oh, right when it's super embarrassing and it's the sun is hitting your face and it's what is that on your chin? Is that lint? You're like, yeah, it's lint.
It's always in the car too when you have nothing.
Yeah.
In the light, you can see it.
Ah!
But then when you get that mad skill, when you can just do it with one hand, just.
I've never, I don't know how you do that. I can't. I'm the hairiest person on earth and I can't do that.
The chacney, the wild
Yeah,
hair growing from your chin. It does not sound great so far for
It
a woman's
sounds
chin.
sexy, man bun. Just deal with it.
Okay, but
We're sexy in our own ways. That's all that matters.
But question. So we talked about having a newborn here. All right, 2 months old, nearly on one of the days this week, the first, whatever day that is.
Saturday.
So obviously still breastfeeding. What's your opinion on the man wearing the pullover boobs? And getting the milk in a packet and the baby feeding off of the boob that way. Have you ever seen that?
Never heard
What's
of
your
this.
opinion?
I mean, I've seen
Let's
it.
break it down.
But I mean, I think it's more just like, if you want to share, if your wife would like a break and she's just like, I can't right now, and you just want to offer up that help, just take one for the team and just tag in. I think I'm all on board for that. But it's all just about what works for you guys. It's different. I'm just to each their own. But if you want to tag in there and help your wife out, I'm all on board for that. Help out, team player right there.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I support that wholeheartedly. Go for it.
Tag in. It's 2 a.m. and she's like,
Yes.
I'm sleeping. Then just say, babe, I got it. Strap it on.
Let me strap up.
And get in the game.
Tag me in.
Put me in, coach. I like it.
I can't remember where I've seen that before, but it's
I'm sure they're on Amazon.
I'm sure, yeah.
Sky Mall.
I'm a little afraid to
Sky Mall.
Sky Mall. That does sound like a Sky Mall.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to actually put that search in, because then once you search something, then it just comes through your Instagram.
Oh, you'll have every ad on
Okay.
Twitter.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Kyle says he's not. I'm not as okay. Listen, Kyle, I am a certified Neanderthal according to 23andMe, and I tested like 80% higher than like 50 million people who have submitted their DNA. I got a congratulations email. They're like, you're mostly Neanderthal. Congratulations. I'm like, this is why my wax bill is so high. This is why my husband had to spend that much money on laser hair removal. So let's not argue about who's hairier, bro. You don't want to know. Because maybe not me anymore, but hey, you never know.
DNA says otherwise. It's science.
I know. It's science. What she said.
Can't argue that. There is no argument
Word.
on that.
Casey McCoy thing. My wife likes pointing out the grays that come in. To me, I find grays distinguish on guys. Like I think
so
it's more
silver fox.
Yeah, I think it's weirder when guys start like dyeing their hair, because one, guys don't know how to dye their hair properly. So like you get like the printer ink look, and I just don't. That to me, hey, that beard all day.
See?
All about it.
See?
My husband is a silver fox, and he is the sexiest man that I know. So I'm all about them grays. Don't be afraid to distinguish. Men are like fine wine, getting better with age, my friends. Nothing wrong.
The nice thing about whether men have hair or don't have hair, whether you like their looks or you don't like their looks, that's why God made a light switch. Just shut the freaking light
Just shut the light off.
It's all good. And then just fantasize about whoever the heck you want.
Yes.
That's how it's done.
I mean,
Oh, yes.
you ain't say nothing but a thank.
There you go.
I thought we got to go.
Who are you imagining right now?
Yeah. I would turn my lights off, but I'm a bouge because I have mine connected to my Alexa, so I have to ask Alexa to turn the lights off.
You so fancy.
Okay, wait.
I know.
Let's hit on that real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do a draft.
Bougie.
Let's do a draft. All right. So you have an Alexa in your house, and you're
I have multiple.
And you're about to get frisky, with a partner of yours, and you need to tell Alexa to, Alexa, turn off the lights. But what is your command? Because you can get this special smart plugs where you can say a special command to turn off the lights. So if you have those or whatever, if you don't, I don't care. This is what the draft is for. You are going to pick a phrase to turn off the lights. It can be whatever you want it to be, kinky, not at all, humorous, whatever. This is your line of thinking. This is the draft. Since SML has the Alexa already, I'd imagine she's already got about 5 or 6 of these phrases baked into that thing. So would you mind taking the 101, SML?
I will take the 101, but I'll do
Okay.
it in a funny way. I'll do like a switcheroo. So it would be, Alexa, I have a headache. And then it would turn the lights off. But then I would do like a sneak attack, you know?
Ooh.
So it's like, you weren't expecting it, JK! That's my 101.
And that, hearing that in the dark, like in the pitch black, would be hilarious.
Okay.
Who's
Around the
ready
horn.
for a plot twist?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was incredible. Very
So
good
good.
101. All right. 102. The diva of Devi, Katie Flower. What are you telling Alexa to hit the lights?
I'd say, Alexa, I'm going down.
Wow.
Off the rails, J Mike.
Nice. I like
Look
it.
what
Here
we've
we are.
done. Look what we've
Why
done.
did I do my makeup? I forgot.
There you go, Michael. Michael
Yeah.
Finaro, Alexa.
All right.
Let's get down tonight.
Am I up?
Hi, Shane.
Jennifer, before you go, I
Yeah.
think this is Shane's command for Alexa here. It would just be hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, that works for me as long as the other woman doesn't care.
All right, are we ready
All
for
right,
mine?
Yes, Jen, you are the
Ready.
103. What do you got for Alexa?
103, I've got Alexa, blindfold me.
Oh, I like
Oh my
that
god,
one.
that's so good.
Sweet.
I mean, you know.
Oh my goodness. I can't I just like I picture that like I happening, and it's just that's good.
I went to a 50 Shades of Grey place there, and it wasn't bad.
I approve.
Good.
I approve.
All
Wholeheartedly.
right. J Mike, we have never gone down this path before as far as our draft, and I'm loving it. All right, Sam, you are on the 104. What are you saying to Alexa?
This is really difficult because you guys just picked such good ones, and all the ones I was thinking of are so not as good as any of those. Let me see. I guess I would just say, okay, I'm a massive nerd, so my first thought is like something to do with Harry Potter and like a spell to get the lights to go out. So I would probably just say, because when they're gonna be mischievous, they open up the Marauders map and they say mischief managed, close it. So I would say something to the effect of like mischief beginning.
Ooh. Or like instead of Expelliarmus, be like Expelliarmus. And it's like,
Yes.
Spella, get on this.
yeah,
Get on
oh,
this.
even
Love
better.
That's
that.
nice.
Love that. Yes.
You guys, I have never seen nor read one iota of Harry Potter.
It's okay. I've read them all for you like 10 times.
Yeah, I know.
Same.
Yeah, not one word, not 1 second of a movie. I'm sorry.
It's fine. There's plenty of
I
stuff
can't
I
remember
haven't
who-
seen or read.
I can't remember who just said it, but someone was like, Alexa, are the kids asleep? Hashtag dad life. Like, oh, I hear you.
So good.
For all the kids.
So there's a program, it's called IFTTT or IF, whatever, but it's basically if this then that. So you can connect it to your Alexa or your Google, and then you can literally program it to answer you back. So if you say like, Alexa, turn the lights off, it'll be like, you can have it say whatever you want, like, go F yourself. No, it's so funny. You can get it to say things that are hilarious. So I had a whole lineup where if someone would say something to Google, like with someone's name in it, it would just respond about how much their fantasy team sucked. And they're like, what?
That's awesome.
I was like, hey, Mike, you should ask, Alexa a question. He's like, and I'm like, make sure you say your name. And he was like, oh, Mike, your fantasy team sucks.
That's awesome.
He's like, that was so dumb, Lauren. I'm like, no, worth it.
That's
Took me
great.
half an hour to program that, and it's worth it.
Love that. So good.
Oh,
J Mike and Gabe, you guys have to pick your Alexa.
I
command.
know. I don't know why I started this, because I know that
It always comes back to us. We gotta pick.
turns out.
Surprise.
See, when
J.
you
Mike
see yours,
finished
will silently
just
judge
saying,
you.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah. For everyone. Yeah. Okay. J Mike, what is your 105, man?
Just gonna use me as a
Well,
shield,
I'm
bro.
just going in
like-
order. I'm just going in order. I don't want to break up the order of
Wow.
things.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with Flight of the Condors.
Yes.
But it would just be 100%. Alexa, it's business time.
There you go.
and-
There you go.
So good.
So yeah, if you're not sure of Flight of the Condors, or if you haven't heard that song, it's hilarious. It's business time. Like
That's a good song.
it's
I love that.
You're stalling
yeah.
enough. Come
Wow.
on, man bun. Let's go. You're stalling.
I know. I
Yeah, yeah.
really am because I
Hey, there's a good one in the chat for you right there.
Is there? What do they got?
Alexa,
Oh, my-
let my hair down.
Oh my God, Alexa, hold my beer. Watch this.
Hey, you're from Texas. You can say, hold my beer. That's a good one.
What's funny is I was actually gonna go somewhere with the hair that I was actually going to go in the opposite direction though and say, "Hey Alexa, buns up."
Oh,
Hey, there you go.
Good
That's
one.
a double
There's a
entendre.
lot of
is a
ways you
good
could
one.
go there, but
That's not
Yes.
just hair. That's not just hair.
I know.
Yeah. There
Very
you go. So good.
It's always a good time to walk in an open bar.
That's right. Welcome, Mr. Showtime. Welcome to the real fun people. Whoever you're hanging out with for, it is just, that's fake. We're fun. We're real fun.
Yeah, that was a wild 31 minutes, J Mike. I don't know what just happened. Are we
this
even going to talk about anything?
We are.
I was
I'm
told
waiting for the other people to tell their camel jokes.
We
Tim.
haven't just been sitting here with dead air. This is interesting stuff.
That's true.
Come on.
That's true.
Chin hair,
Bring
chat,
another camel-
like what do
bring
we tell
another camel
Alexa when
jokes
it's time
out.
to get busy? There are important things we are discussing right now that everybody needs to know. Now,
Camel
I have a
jokes.
question for you,
Camel
gentlemen.
jokes.
Boxers
Okay.
or briefs?
So
Or boxer
I
Or none.
shoot.
Boxer brief.
So are the boxer briefs with just
Or
the
no.
like elastic?
Are you
Wait, I
asking
don't
me
even
about
know.
men's underwear?
Yeah,
that's
I don't
just
know.
Yeah, we
Because
don't.
I grew up doing boxers. I liked the patterns on them, I guess, and it was cool to just leave a little bit out of your pants. And
Were they
I'm talking
SpongeBob?
like I'm
You're
talking
talking about
like
your
You're talking
boxers
about
still,
the
right?
underwear or
High
what's in
school-
the
like
underwear, Gabe? What
high
are you
school-
Yeah.
leaving
What
out
are
of
you
your
leaving
pants?
out of your shorts? It's a little
I
bit
don't
awkward.
even know why. I
It was the
answered
big
question.
Calvin-
Look,
big
Jay might
Calvin
dip, so
Klein
I'm gonna have to
logo.
take all the heat now. So now, as I grew older,
Mike's like, I'm out.
I transitioned into briefs, and I'm never going back. It's just far more comfortable for everything.
So now, are they the
included down
briefs that
below.
like go down your legs a little bit, or are they just like straight up speedo?
Yeah, that's
No,
hybrid.
not
Boxer
hybrid.
brief.
That's
Hybrid.
how we
It's
went.
between. I think the length I have is considered medium between.
Okay, so
long
they're
and
boxer
the
briefs.
brief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are
Or,
those
and
are
the
boxer
Yeah,
speedo.
boxer briefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
because like briefs are like straight up. You're either like 4 years old or you're 400 years old. Is who wear briefs.
It's a very fine line.
So I think you're boxer briefs. So don't ever say in public again that you wear briefs. That's just
Yeah.
between you and me, though. You don't have to tell anyone.
We're just trying to help you out.
Oh, I wear
Help me out.
boxer briefs.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
We
okay.
We just
Good to know.
Yep.
give you some knowledge.
Yeah. All right. Well, man, Jay,
So clearly your wife shops
I am
for you,
enlightened.
is what you're saying.
Opening up your mind, Gabe,
Yeah.
to a whole new game, man.
buns up indeed. All right.
Bun and done was another one I saw.
Fun and done.
But-
Yeah, that was
But
good.
it done pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The
Wait, J Mike, are you avoiding the question?
Look, he's trying to
He wasn't
slide
avoiding
by.
the question.
Yeah.
I see how you
Like,
were trying
oh,
to transition to
My
a
dog
business
is
comment.
barking. How weird.
so Gabe and I have been podcasting together for what is this coming up on 4 years now, Gabe? Three
it
plus years. 3+ years, I think.
Jeez.
And I've become I haven't necessarily become really good at transitions. I will just force transitions when I have to, and that's kind of what was happening, Sam, until you just kind
I
of
called you out.
nah, bro.
No, you gotta answer.
Oh,
the
I was
question.
right there behind her. We all were. We're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's the combination. The combination is
The
what
hybrid,
brings it
boxer
together.
brief.
You've got yes.
You can say it. It's not a bad word.
that word.
Because the
He's gonna get a Jake and State Farm situation if he says anything out loud. So
Do they ask you what you're wearing?
Ask what you're wearing.
Yeah. Well, she's out.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, she's a he, so whatever. Yeah. So the support is key. I'll leave it there. The support is key.
Your boys need a
You wear a
house.
jock strap.
Gardner
During-
Minshew does.
In my playing days, no.
Duval, baby. Let's get it.
Gardner.
Yeah.
That's
I
always a
love-
very interesting shot to me when the camera lines up and everyone's obviously bent over the line, and you're like, "Oh, okay. I really wish they didn't have white pants." Like, and you just look at this lineup of like you don't see anything, and then just jockstrap and butt. Just,
Well,
it's
if
always
it's
been a
a
surprise.
hold on.
It's always a surprise to me. I'm like,
Whoa.
I wasn't
Sure.
expecting.
Some players, yes, but there are other players I'm like, do we have to run this play? You can just hang out right there.
Yeah,
Come on,
it's a
Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. There are, so many wide receivers and running backs out there where just jump in the pool with them white pants. I'm fine with that.
Oh no, I
Saquon
completely
Barkley.
agree. It's just
Oh, that's
Saquon
another
Barkley,
one. Ezekiel
Barkley.
Elliott. Come on now.
oh my
Okay.
gosh.
DeAndre
I totally
Swift.
forgot. We had this huge talk
Yes.
about Saquon Barkley not long ago, and we just went to town on his body. I just remember that in another pod. That was so much fun.
Like Christian McCaffrey too. Like, come on.
So beautiful.
So tasty.
Football pants all the way.
So good.
My husband was a tight end in college, and I saw him in some of his football pants, and I was like, "You still got those, babe? I want to get those out."
Alexa.
Yeah. Well, I went to a private Catholic all-girls school, and he's like, "Yeah, when you get your uniform out." I was like, "Oh, touche." That thing was awful. Red plaid skirt, white shirt.
All right, J Mike, I want to hear your transition now because
Yeah.
I love transitions. I love
'Cause we will
segues. I love the
destroy it.
opportunity. It's true. That's true. But I'm here for it. So what do you got? I was so curious.
No, there's no way I could even try anymore. After somebody in the chat. Oh, this was great. Zach, big brother over the Dynasty Dummies. So I thought I had daylight here, and then Sam, the good old Sam linebacker, filled the hole quickly as I tried to get through there. So well done, Sam. Well done.
Thank you.
I don't have anything else there. I'm gonna leave that alone. It is so funny. This is gonna be such a weird turn at this point.
You never have J
it's
Mike at a loss of words in a podcast.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this might be the
did
very
it.
first time that this has ever happened. This dude
Broke
cannot
him.
speak right now, and it is weird.
I am weak. I am broken. I have laughed a lot. My jaw's already hurt. And we are barely into this thing. So I was going to just say what God, I can't even say this now with a straight face and be like, oh, like let's get into this. So it's like, no,
Welcome
I
to
can't.
everything being dirty now from here on out.
We're ready. What do you want to talk about? How can we ruin it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
How can we ruin it?
So just my whole thing was going to be in light of obviously everybody returning to camp, everyone getting ready for this 2020 season, everyone getting excited thinking, hey, we're about to get the season off the ground. We're actually going to have a title to vie for in our leagues, all these different things. I was just going to ask you all, and this is still going to sound really weird in this context. What? I am broken. I am officially
You
broken.
can do it.
How?
You can do it.
So what? And I'm going to explain this here in a second. But what matters to you all right now? So we've got so many things going on in reference to obviously people reporting, our league starting back up, everybody putting in contingency plans. What matters right now? Obviously, Jen is staying locked in with the good old COVID list over at 4for4, keeping that tracker square up.
Yep.
But what matters to you all right now? Because this is a very different time than I know I've been in Dynasty for the last 3 years, and obviously I've not seen anything like this. But I don't know what is actually mattering, what makes sense. The fact that my main man Justin Jefferson just went to the COVID list, does it really matter? Do people opting out, like, are we just going to see a rash of opt-outs before we get to August 1st? What matters to you all right now?
Who
The
wants to
COVID list
get off? Yeah.
does not bug me a bit, especially with rookies. A lot of people are overreacting or whatever. As I mentioned earlier on the UTH podcast, right now is not the time to either panic sell or panic buy. If you're losing guys that are going on the opt-out list, you still don't need to panic by right now. Let things settle, fill in the gaps for your team when you know what your team needs after everything is settled. And for goodness sake, especially in Dynasty, if you just got a rookie in a rookie draft a couple of months ago and they're placed on the COVID-19 temporary list, for goodness sake, don't give a discount and just up and trade them because you're not going to have them for the first whatever. And they may be off the list before the season even starts. We don't know. So what I just think what matters most right now is don't panic.
Absolutely. I completely agree with the don't panic. Just allow the dust to settle. I mean, I keep seeing notifications of people getting picked up off of waivers, and I understand, if you want to obviously can play competitively for this season, you feel like you need to, but I think it's better to play it safe and just sit back and wait, because things are going to change. Today and tomorrow are going to look completely different. Same at the end of next week. So I completely agree with Katie. Just, you got to not panic. Just let things happen. If you've already drafted, just see where things fall. And I mean, you'll go from there. Obviously, the more people that opt out, the more, you're going to have a scale that goes like this of where you should start to worry whether or not we're going to even have a competitive season. That's a different question. But I think for right now, as we see slowly people coming in, just sit back and watch. Maybe get on the Instagram and follow your favorite players that you're liking, because you might see some clues on their Instagram of whether or not they're going to opt out or they're going to be there. Give you a little bit of peace of mind. So just things like that.
Not to bring money into this at all, but looking at the opt-out clause of it was what, 350,000 is what you're paid if you opt out and you have an actual immune disorder of sorts, whatever that may be. And then if you don't, but you're just opting out, you're still getting 150, 170, 150. Yeah. So all I've seen as far as the players that are opting out are players that don't have a huge contract, and even rookies, or they're not, rookies aren't opting out, but I guess they're on a COVID list that might lead into that. Maybe, I don't know. But mostly just the other vets that are not having that don't have a huge contract. So do y'all think that there's that built into it at all?
I mean, you could sign a contract today. I just saw Joe Burrow signed a contract today, but he could get COVID next week. We don't know. So it doesn't mean anyone's more secure because they're signing a contract or they have a higher contract than another player, in my opinion, because we're still in so much of a wait and see as to who is going to get it and not get it, or if they're going to be, quarantining themselves so efficiently they never get it. That's too much of an unknown, just as much as, new knee injuries are, or certain injuries are in the game. Some players are going to get a random, the kidney laceration or something that someone had that's a freak accident. You never know.
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
So
Keenan Allen from the Chargers, yeah.
Yeah, no, because he was on a bunch of our teams and we're all just damn it, why? Can't you just hold on to your side?
The only reason I know that is because I have one bad kidney, totally long story for after the show. So whenever I heard that Keenan Allen got a kidney laceration, I threw up for him. I was like, oh God, my back. Oh, even though nothing was wrong with me, but I just know how horrible kidney pain is. I will never forget that Keenan Allen had a kidney laceration. Ever.
But it's just unpredictable. We don't know who's going to get what. So just because someone signs something doesn't mean, I'm going to draft them over someone because of whatever. No, that doesn't make anyone more safe. This is still a wait and see game.
Yeah, I think it's a little early.
And I think that part of Gabe's question, though, was as far as the opt-out for the season, if you've got a big contract, would you rather have the $18 million or whatever you're going to get for the year versus $350,000?
Sure.
Right.
I think it depends on the player, and I think it depends on their situation. I mean, you've got players with newborns. Mm-hmm. You have players that have diabetes, players with sickle cell, all that stuff.
Right.
And I think if you're already, a veteran, you're already established, you have a ton of money. It's who cares? One season, your family's health and your health, I would think, is more important.
I mean,
yeah.
And I don't mean to say that about NFL players at all. I think they should all opt out. that'd be quite the stand. I think that'd be dope.
The right guard for the Chiefs, DuVernay Tardif. I mean, he's a doctor, so he's actually opting out to be an orderly and go help people. That's really cool.
Canada, right?
Yeah. And so it's, for me, I think fantasy-wise, I mean, because the most important thing for me right now, just to go back to J. Mike's question, what's important to me right now is safety. Obviously, safety for everybody. We all want sports but in the correct way to do it. You know, we don't want to overwhelm our hospitals with these overwhelming cases of COVID. You know, most people that get it, it's going to be like a cold. You're going to have a cough. You're going to feel like crap for 2 weeks, and then it is whatever. But keeping our high risk patients, you know, away from this highly contagious, horrible thing is, I think, the most important. But for fantasy purposes, I'm going a little conservative, because normally what I would do is be like, I'm going to take a flyer on X, Y, and Z on the last couple drafts. But now I'm like, who is the backup of the backup? I need to know who this is. And I'm going to familiarize myself with the practice squad. And so then I don't feel so overwhelmed if there is an opt-out or if there is a COVID case last minute, like poor Jen's going to have to look at, hopefully not in season, fingers crossed. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm looking more conservative for my later round picks of more backups and then backups and backups, just to feel on the safe side. And then I'll pick up my flyers from the waiver as I see fit in the matchup. So
that's definitely a great safe route, though, is like to learn more about these backups, which I don't feel like, I mean, I definitely am guilty of not looking further down the road.
Who's going to back up Todd Gurley? Because Todd Gurley was saying he might take the opt-out. Who the heck is it going to be? Quadre, Olsen, Ito Smith, or Brian Hill? Do you have a dartboard or a three-sided coin? Let's flip it. I have no idea.
Well, I would love a three-sided
I think you just turn out the lights. Just kidding.
Oh, that's a no-go.
Lights down
J-Mike's
low.
like, I'm alone. What's happening?
Man bun up.
What had happened was what happened. That would be
what happened was.
And that's what's, I feel like that's what's really interesting, or one of the really interesting things. And if we limit it to just our fantasy teams, and Lauren, like you were saying, obviously we want people to be safe, and then the question becomes, how safe, or what does even safe look like in this environment, right? And if that's the case, then now, if we're actually going to be playing and having a season, we're in this place now where it is going to be really strange navigating all parts of this. And I feel like that puts a lot of strain on us, specifically in Dynasty, because in Dynasty, like, people are thirsty, and I feel it even in myself. People are thirsty to make moves right now, like to be doing something. And any kind of trade or anything that you may make right now could just blow up in a really awful way come a few days from now, if someone decides to opt out, or God forbid they get COVID or anything else like that. But now it's this case where we're constantly watching, and like we said, Wendell Smallwood to the Steelers, like for what? Like, y'all already had like 4 or 5 guys that.
Yeah,
Samuel,
Betty, Snell, and McFarland.
Yeah,
crazy.
It doesn't make sense. So that just tells me that someone's going to opt out there, but we haven't been told who. And we were talking off air right before we started that James Conner said that he was going to play no matter what. So seems like he's going to play, and that's not going to be the guy that opts out. But they have a plethora, so why just sign a guy? I don't know. But maybe it's also just to add bench depth, because I think a lot of us have leagues too, Dynasty or otherwise, where we're adding extra IR spots just in case because of COVID.
Just in case.
Yeah, so it could be a situation there where they just want an extra guy just in case.
Or what's really important is, if you have that league in that chat group, go in there and be that person that's like, oh my gosh, did you hear? And just like wait to see what falls. And you're like, I will take him off your hands. Or you're like, dude, you need to get this guy. You need this. Stir the pot. Like, get one of those guys that is way, way low, that you can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to pick him up for super cheap. And they're like, I can't believe I just sold Alvin Kamara for pieces. I don't know. That was just a terrible example, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
It's like, be that person that will capitalize. That is.
Did you see what he posted on his Instagram? That he was out, like, at a club without a mask on. Oh my god! Like,
oh my god! Oh, well, speaking of which, in Florida, of course, it's Florida. We have the NBA bubble. Some guy decides not only to get chicken wings, but chicken wings at a titty bar. Really? Of all
just about to say
to do, it had to be that.
They're about to have a rule named after him, I'm sure.
oh my
About to have
God.
a rule named after Lou Williams.
All you got to do is just pour the alcohol on the titties, and that sterilizes everything. And then you can
It's perfect.
The
Eat your
wings
chicken
too.
wing off her boob. It's fine. But I mean, like, come on, one or the other, bro. But I guess it was efficient. You know, I can only go one place. You can't even go that. But he's like, hey, if I can only sneak out maybe to one place, 2 in 1, chicken wings and boobs. I mean, I guess I can't fault him, but come on, bro.
Yeah.
He's a legs and boobs guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Or, you know, thigh and I don't know.
Yeah.
Thigh and breast.
Thighs and breasts. Those are always really good.
Crispy.
I'm talking about wings though.
I say I don't think
Chicken.
wings translate to a part of the human body.
Wait
but
a minute.
Chicken. Chicken's delicious.
They're trying to
Or
make
drum-
it happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Drums and flats. It's got a.
They refer to our angel wings, okay? They
Okay.
refer to our angel wings. Go with
There we
it,
go.
don't argue. Continue.
You got it. There was a. I hope it didn't go too far. There was a trade in here
We
that
went
I
way
definitely-
too far a while ago, J. Mike. We're way past that.
Yeah, when you wouldn't answer the
we
boxes
started
the
left.
brief question.
The trade's already been conversed
Yep, we're
about,
still
and
waiting.
So he still won't
Boom,
say
here it
which
is.
one. Great
Uh,
alert.
Sam, you are wow. Okay, I'm with it. I love it. I really
Colin
do. This
likes
is
to
good.
see him.
I'm not mad at it one bit.
She's my boo.
Trade alert. We've got and Shane Manila, I know you're in here. I don't know if we have to put the trademark, the registered sign on that when he puts trade alert, because I know that that's your thing. So let us know, just so you don't have to find us anything crazy or demonetize the video, anything of that nature.
J. Mike.
Trade alert.
It's
I'm
our
just
show.
saying.
It's our show, though.
I
No, their
know,
show
but-
is our show. We've
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We also own Trades HQ. I
Conglomerate.
forgot.
So take
Never
that.
mind.
Was that
There
just
we
a
go.
really sly way to be like, don't really care? Yeah,
No,
that sounded underhanded.
Not at all.
And
I love
well
Shane.
played it was, because I was like, I'm following. Now I'm like, oh wow, well done. Oh.
I wish I was that good, but no, I am. I'm pretty lame.
Next time, go with
Create
it
all
and be
these
like, yeah,
enemies
you called
for
me
us.
out.
I'll do better. Shane, you suck. Taking this right now. All right. Lockett, Hollywood, 21 first and a 21 second. So Lockett, Marquise Brown, 21 first, 21 second. For Ertz and Devontae Adams. We've got a 12-team Superflex league. He said he's got 9 starters. I can try to starters here.
So he got Hollywood and Lockett in that one?
It looks as though he got Lockett and Hollywood.
I mean, I love Devontae Adams and Zach Ertz, but I mean, if it's also Dynasty, then I'm probably more of a fan of this because I like the idea of the picks and I like the potential upside for Hollywood. And I feel like
it has to be
Lockett
dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redraft doesn't have
Right?
picks.
Yeah, I'm on the Lockett Hollywood side.
Yeah.
The way I read it, I thought he had gotten Ertz and Devontae Adams and gave up.
Yeah,
Tyler
I was
Lockett,
like, no,
Hollywood,
that's a
and-
big sell, but
Yeah,
I like all
I'm
those
on
cards.
the Lockett Hollywood side. That's the side I want.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
decided it's over
I'm
here
interested
by
to see
Debbie
what
Diva.
Katie, Jen, what do y'all gotta say?
I'm not a dynasty person, so I'm kind of zoned out at this moment.
Perfect.
I don't do those. I don't do the trades and the future draft picks. That's not my bag. So, but yeah, sorry, I wasn't really paying attention once I saw trade and future picks. That's where I go.
It's so annoying because I look at. I mean, this is my first year in Dynasty, and it's just like I get garbage players and garbage trade picks, and I reject it, and then they're like, "But it was a really good like trade offer for like 2022." I'm like, "Bro, I want to win now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
No, it's
care."
tough.
Like, so I really can't wrap my head around it either. So I'll usually refer. I'll be like, "Sam, what you think about this trade?"
Yeah, I
So I
just
wasn't
don't.
even- I don't
yeah.
even
What about
look at
the
trade for the
what
spot.
about the players
There's
though, Jen?
players.
What about
Players.
Like I
just
said, I was
looking-
I don't even. Well, I saw Lockett and something. I didn't even see the players.
It's-
Lockett and Hollywood. Who else?
That's on one
Or
side,
Zach
and then
Okay.
Ertz and Devontae Adams.
yeah, I'm just curious if you think any of those players will kind of increase in value next year or have a good year to where it, whether redraft or dynasty, really, I guess you don't have to hit the
I'd
dynasty.
probably
aspect, but-
I'd probably be on the Lockett side of that. Just straight up,
Yeah.
looking at the
Oh,
players.
Lockett.
Hot Lockett.
I love Lockett though. I have a weird little soft spot for him. I love him. I can't
Who
quit him.
doesn't?
I
I
know.
can't either, girl. Oh my God, especially his gorgeous, cute little face. And then it's like, oh, this random deep ball from Russell Wilson with a 2% catch probability.
Yes.
Oh, Lockett's got it. Yeah.
He doesn't.
Of
He
course he
doesn't.
does.
Yeah, he doesn't drop. He doesn't miss. He's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's like, where did he even come from?
Mhm.
He was
He
like,
like
back
flies
in
in
New
out of
Jersey.
nowhere. So
Yeah, he's like,
good.
whoop. Hot Lockett.
And
Katie,
I'll take
what about you?
I'll take the Adams side.
Yeah.
Adams and Ertz. I like the 21 class. It's not as deep as this year because it's super flex. There are a couple of good quarterbacks that should push some of the next year's loaded with wide receivers, some decent running backs, but not like this year's class. And so for that, I'm not a big believer in Hollywood per se. I like Lockett, but I would rather have Adams and Ertz in that trade.
I think I might actually as well, just because of the Adams part. It's just such an elite piece to have on your team, and maybe that I'm saying that because it sounds like he traded away Adams and Ertz, that I think he could have gotten a little bit more for that.
I think so. I think so too.
Yeah, because I see Lockett and Ertz kind of on the same page. So now you're thinking Hollywood, a first and a second. And I think you probably could have had maybe like two firsts as opposed to the first and the second.
I hate it when
I'm
people do
curious-
that in dynasty
more
trades.
elite
They're like,
player.
I'll give you a first and a second. I'm like, I think you should give me a first and a first. And they're like, that's too much. I'm like, then why'd you ask? Like,
Yeah. I hate that. It's like, I'll give you a 2021 fourth round. I'm like, you can flush it down the toilet. I'm not accepting that. No.
I don't want your
But I wonder
filler
if he
flowers.
has another. Yeah, does he have another tight end besides Zach Ertz too? So is that a bundle? I mean, these trades always depend on your roster needs and your roster construction, and what it is that you're getting that your team needs. Because we may value this as something completely different, simply on face value. But if you really needed two wide receivers, I mean, that's something that is more valuable to you, and you needed that draft spot. And then, giving up Devontae Adams in order to get those was the leverage you have. It really depends on what your team needs are as you go forward, especially in your league scoring as well. So a lot of this is at face value. I always like to preface that, because then they'll come at me and be like, but this is what I was facing. I'm like, well, then it wasn't a bad trade. Like, why didn't you just send me the whole dissertation in the first place? I could have evaluated it like next week. Jeez.
Things I could
Okay,
have
but-
learned yesterday.
But to that point, if you need a roof on your house and somebody is more expensive than what you can afford, and you can get just as good a roof from somebody else, shopping it around and getting the right roof at the right value for the market, then
Talk about it.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same type of thing.
100%.
So if the dynasty value of a couple of players, just because you need something doesn't mean that you have to pull down your skirt and, but
Buns up.
buns up. That's right. Buns up.
Theme of the episode.
So you still have to pay attention. Otherwise, your dynasty roster will suffer long term if you're taking the short end of a stick just to fill a need, because we all have needs. You just want to be aware of the market value.
Yeah, and I
Good.
know, I mean, I'm in a lot of leagues where people don't trade at all, and their benches are so long, and they just cling on to players like a piece of lint that I can't get out of my ceiling fan, and it's very irritating. So it's always going to depend, but yeah, make sure you shop around. Don't just stick with one and be like, well, I guess I needed it, so I'm going to cut off my nose to spite my face, just like Diva was saying. So yeah, for sure. And trades are always weird. Like, you ask a lot of people, get a lot of advice, and just make the best decision that you feel the most comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, we don't have to live with your trade. You do.
Yeah, exactly. But then also, like Lauren just said, not just ask other people what they think, just to like gauge the temperature. But if the person that's pushing you for the trade is like, no, I need an answer right now. They don't need an answer right now. It's fantasy football. No one's going to die. So you can let them wait so you can think about your decision and come back to it later.
They're trying to push you to do it now. It's like a salesman being like, you really want this car. Don't mind the check engine light.
Yeah.
The check engine.
Tire is always flat. It's going to be fine though. It still runs.
It's going to be fine. Don't mind
It still
air
runs.
conditioning.
Y'all
A to
different
B is
out in
great.
Cali.
A, B to C.
How far are you trying to get? Because
Y'all different. For the traffic that you have to sit in, Sam, I imagine that you're right. You're not going very far, even with the flats or no flats at all. Either way,
no, just gonna get to A to B.
And this was such an interesting point with Devontae Adams. For kicks though, I'm probably on the Adams side because legit, if you look at this season, you just look at sheer, not even this season, just in the next few seasons, even as you kind of spin this thing forward, specifically for this season though with Devontae Adams, somebody asked like, what would be keeping Adams from a legitimate 200 target season?
Well, first of all, listen, Adams at the moment, we've got a single Aaron Rodgers, right? That's the key. Everyone, anytime Rodgers is single, he goes off. So Adams.
Oh wait, hold on, I missed this.
You didn't know they broke up?
Yes.
No.
Dude, they broke up. We got
calm down,
Rodgers
Lauren. He is a
2020.
saggy butt.
He is single, therefore he's going to have a good season. Therefore, Adams is going to have a good season. So
I'm digging that. I like that, Jen. I like that because that makes a lot of sense. Look at Tony Romo, just saying.
Yep.
Oh, poor Jessica Simpson.
I think she's doing all right.
She's doing fine now, but that was a rough couple months. I just wanted to wear his jersey, and it was pink. It's like, I can't fault a girl for liking pink. Like,
but her underwear choices at like $700 a pop were like, what? She's like, I didn't look at the price tag. Are you blind? It was in an episode, okay? Okay, don't judge me.
I don't remember that episode.
Like her show? Or
of her show.
The Newlyweds?
So like it was I think it was the Newlyweds. Okay. Yeah. So she went into this lingerie store. She bought like 5 thongs or something, and she came out. It was like a $700 bill, and she called Nick like freaking out that she spent like $700 on underwear. I'm like, first of all, way too expensive. Second of all, this $700 for you is like nothing. So I don't want to hear you complaining about that. Stop it. I have to watch more. I'm intrigued. It's like I couldn't handle it.
But also, like, I mean, if I'm shopping, I always know, like, I mean, you look at the tag. I don't just like, I'm so excited, and I just go put it like, what? Surprise. Like, I have to read the number.
Oh, if I like it, it's expensive. So I need to look at the tag because I'm like, ooh, I like, must be expensive. And I look at it, I'm like, nope. That's why I shop at Ross and Salvation Army.
Turn up.
You can get some good stuff there.
I get free T-shirts from Under the Helmet.
Nice.
Get it, girl.
Love it.
I got it at Ross.
Ladies, I'm going to have to run. It is approaching that time for me. But thank you for letting me surprise you on the open bar. Man Bun, J Mike, thank you for letting me surprise. Even though the demon popped in and was like,
Yeah,
It was great.
It made it fun. It made it fun. Okay.
Thank you for joining. Appreciate you.
Memorable.
Absolutely, guys.
All right.
And I believe we'll see you ladies too, women of fantasy football. I love you guys.
Be well.
All right. Well, I'm exhausted. Alexa. All right.
Buns up.
200 puns up. 200 targets. That's a lot. I mean, that happens, but that's a lot. That's a lot. And
what are you talking about? 200 targets.
Devontae Adams.
Oh, okay.
Somebody was saying.
Oh, right. Well,
Did he have 200 targets?
there's not a lot of competition there for the targets. I mean, you're looking at Lazard or Lazard or however you want to pronounce his name.
Whatever guy happens to be there.
You're looking at, Sternberger and, I think, But I will say I have been taking Lazard. You guys say it Lazard or Lazard? What do you guys say?
I think Lazard. Yeah.
I feel like, okay. So anyway.
J Mike hates me whenever I say Lazard.
That's please don't.
But see, for some reason it comes out, and even though
Hey, look, I don't hate it, Jen.
No, it's all good. We're being
But what has really changed from last year as far as options for Green Bay? I mean, they I guess they lost Jimmy Graham, but they still have Sternberger if he's the replacement. I don't know. They added Funchess, but he's not playing this year. I guess they lost Geronimo Allison, who was supposed to be the wide receiver 2 or 3 of that team, and then it never happened. It ended up being Lazard. But then, so I wonder what has really changed from last year to this year, especially in now we might know that this team is a little bit different now with Lafleur, and running the ball a bit more. It seems a little bit more, not a, not crazy amount, but certainly more than any Packers team has ever experience, at least in Rodgers' time. So I just wonder, like, what's changed to where we want to put Devontae Adams in that 200 target territory, and not to discredit Devontae Adams at all, because I think he's a baller and I think he's a must draft this year, dynasty, whatever. Like, I'm with it, but I wonder what that ceiling is, I guess, in that offense.
Well, we know they definitely didn't draft a wide receiver. That was the whole, so nothing changed there.
Absolutely not. But also, I mean, if you're looking at just target breakdown from last year, I mean, Aaron Jones had a significant chunk of targets there. So Adams last year had 127 targets, and Jones was behind him as far as targets there was 68. So, I mean, unless Aaron Jones is hurt and out and they have literally no one else, I think it would be difficult for Adams to hit 200. That's just such a high number. I feel like I think the biggest question is who's going to be the go-to number 2 receiver, considering last year they didn't really seem to have one. It was too evenly split between everyone else.
And one of the guys just opted out.
Yeah.
Right, with Funches. And then the question becoming, do we even want to even broach those number 2 waters, right? Obviously late draft Lazard sounds nice, right? So taking him as your dart throw 13, 14, 15 sometime late, like that sounds nice. MBS, I see Kevin threw him out as a deep sleeper here. If you haven't given up on MBS, we've got obviously Sternberger. Equinemius St. Brown, who's hopefully going to be healthy and actually be able to show some of the promise that we've been hoping for the last 2+ seasons. And will it all even matter? And what were they last year in attempts? I'm gonna double check real fast. And the only reason I say the thing with Devontae Adams is that even like his target numbers, and we had talked about it, I think it was at the end of last year, Gabe, like his target numbers were just something fierce after he had come back and he was healthy. And of course, before he was hurt as well, he was getting targeted an absurd amount. And so you look last season in their attempts. So even with all the running and whatnot that I think people say and that they did with LaFleur wanted to do, they still were, I guess, balanced, if you will. They were 16th in the league in terms of pass attempts and 13th in rush attempts. So I don't think I still think that the volume will be there for Adams, and maybe 200 is kind of far-fetched, but I'm of the opinion right now, and I've kind of been this way ever since at the end of last year. Adams is well on his way to leading the league in targets, and it might not be close, because if you look at people who are also hyper targeted, Hopkins goes to Arizona, and say what you will about Hopkins, and I'm a huge Hopkins fan. Pace of play is going to be nice for them in terms of trying to get those attempts up and him keeping his numbers high, but there's still a lot of really good other pass catchers in Arizona that weren't necessarily in Houston. So I'm curious how that shakes out. And when you look at everybody else, like Keenan Allen's usually good for 140, in the 140 range, 140, 150. Are you confident that that's going to be the case with Herbert and Tyrod Taylor and what they were going to be doing there? I'm not. I just think that Devontae Adams is, if he's not like one of these, like the top 3, like top 2 receiver and definitely leading the league in targets, I'm going to be blown away, absolutely blown away, because something, either he would have gotten hurt or some stuff happened that we just did not see coming.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, I feel like just looking at the amount of attempts that Rodgers had last season compared to targets that Adams got, it's kind of just like, obviously Adams had the most, and then the rest of them were just sprinkled throughout. And I feel like we're not going to see anything super different this year. If he's already targeted as much as he was in that offense, maybe that's his ceiling. Maybe there's just a little bit more he could maybe do, but maybe that's his ceiling. I mean, there wasn't really anyone super special that jumped out at receiver there that catches him. There was like 1 week it was one guy, 1 week it was another guy. It wasn't something consistent that you could hang your hat on. So I feel like this year shouldn't necessarily be any different. Sorry, Jen?
No, I didn't say anything. I was pointing to the comment there.
Oh yeah, something about being a Browns fan leads to higher level.
I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I'm down with it.
I mean, you had some really, really brilliant takes, so I like it. I'm good. But I love that you brought up that you thought that. I mean, I was surprised when I looked at this when I was just looking at overall targets from last year. Adams wasn't the most in targets last year. I mean, the amount of people that are leading in targets outside of him are staggering. Obviously, Michael Thomas with the most, 185. If Michael Thomas can cap out at 185, I don't see Adams getting 200.
Don't forget that Thomas had, Breeze was out for a decent chunk.
Yeah, so I feel like whoever's going to hit 200 first, it's going to be Michael Thomas with a healthy Breeze.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this: Adams got and obviously if Thomas leads the league in targets, okay, that's we can take that all day. I like that. That works.
Yeah.
I think with the addition of Emmanuel Sanders, and I'm not super passionate about this, but Emmanuel Sanders obviously brings competency to the wide receiver 2 position finally that they haven't had since I don't know when. Like right, exactly, like the last number 2 receiver in New Orleans that you felt good about. Emmanuel Sanders is fantastic. And then you look at just the fact that Adams, I think, missed 3 or 4 games last year. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see the really good pass catchers in the league, and I'm excited to see who continues to get that target load that really pushes those guys up. Because we've got this exciting group. Your boy Cortland Sutton out in Denver. We've got everybody waiting for the most from DJ Moore. We've got Juju coming back. We've got OBJ healthy. We've got a lot of guys who can try to come for this elite level target fame, if you will, like the ones that kind of get them away from the rest of the group, the 120 to 100 targets that really push above that. So I'm excited to see how that shakes out this year. And if I'll leave it there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun season to watch that.
And all the cornerbacks are
what
doing
season?
Out, so
I hope we get it.
When you say that, it's funny. Earlier, Gabe, when you asked, what are you worried about or what are you most whatever about? Like, for me, it's the season in general, because that's how I earn my living. So, this is my only job is this industry. And so that's a big fear. I mean, obviously, the safety of everyone comes 100% first. But at the same time, like, if there's no season, I'm kind of screwed. So that's kind of, that's a pretty big fear. I hope that they can somehow make it happen, because, there's a lot of people's jobs that ride on it. And, obviously, like I said, I'm definitely more concerned with everyone's health. However, on the season.
Definitely. No, I completely agree with you there. I mean, with the guys over at our podcast, we're coming up with other, like, we're brainstorming fun other podcasts to have, like, as the just in case, but also, like, because the news has been so much of a bummer lately, like, you're trying to get excited. You want to be like, the season's going to happen the next day. Why my players opt out? It's going to happen. Like, it's like, so you have to have some other fun, creative stuff to come up with, but we're coming up with other fun content to do as well. So, if you can have other fun outlets, it's awesome. But I completely agree. I want everyone to be safe. I do also want a season. So, we just want all the things that we
staying inside with my mask on for 3 months so that they can play. Come on.
Yeah. I have no social life. I'm staying single for you guys. I'm not going out the house.
That's commitment, Sam.
Yeah, I was just about to say. That's
so much commitment. Football all day.
That's good.
It's funny because I know other single people I know, unfortunately, we've had the discussion of, there's people that are still doing the random, like, Tinder hookup with COVID. And I'm like, ooh, like, it's kind of a random thing. Like, if you're single, how does that go? And I'm glad to see that you're staying single for that.
Yeah. I mean, it brings the whole, have you been tested question to a different level.
Exactly.
But no, I'm opting out of dating. And I feel like 2020 is just, dating's dead this year. We're just not doing it.
It's fine. And Tinder should really make a bubble like the NBA is doing. They should create
like a
bubble
pool of
somewhere.
people that you can have sex with.
Yeah, exactly. Sign up for this bubble, and we're gonna put you under it.
You just can't do it at a stripper club with chicken wings.
Yeah.
Unless that's the bubble. The chicken wings.
The chicken wings bubble. Everyone's good. Just don't leave your bubble. Everyone's assigned a zone. Just go to your zone.
I think that'd be a fun reality TV show. It'd be like Big Brother, exponentially, increase to the highest degree. That'd be something else.
Hey, if we don't have football to
Tindertown.
watch, I volunteer as
Tindertown.
tribute. Like, if you guys need some fun things to watch, I'll just go into the Big Brother house, and Tindertown will be the next show.
Yeah.
That's
Tinder
that's an idea.
I think
that's
we
a
have,
show idea.
why do we say
$1 million
things
idea.
live?
Yeah, why did we just reveal that to the masses?
Jeez.
Gotta copyright that shit.
Oh.
Immediately.
Nation of Tindertown.
Patent pending. The
Tinder bubble.
The
In
tubble.
this bubble, everyone's tested. You're all safe. Let the games begin.
But we're only talking about COVID testing. The rest of the testing, that's on you.
And there's no screen, so if you swipe left, good luck.
You have to do it in person.
That's
So
right.
left or right. Make the swiping really realistic. Nope. Nope.
Not gonna work.
Move aside.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, with Big Brother, when they go into the confessions and they have the camera and stuff, they can do that with, okay, you can see the person, okay, swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe left.
Yeah. When you just to see my face like from that angle, just like no. Yep.
Hey, just shut the damn lights off.
Shut the damn lights off. Fantasy Tinder bubble.
I see you,
Yes.
dingus.
And the lights are off, permanently in the
Oh,
bubble.
exactly.
Swiping time.
It's swiping time.
That's right.
It is.
Swiping time.
Alexa, swipe right.
That's it. That's it right there.
That's it. But before we completely leave, I do want to touch on one thing, redraft for later real quick. And this kind of may spur into more. Is anyone against wide receivers aside from Michael Thomas in the first round?
No, I'm all about it.
Okay. Just check.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not completely against it. I think it just really depends on the strategy you build and where your draft spot is. I mean, for me, I'm trying to get, a running back in the first 4 picks. If it's, regular redraft PPR league, not super flex, but I don't mind Michael Thomas or taking DeAndre Hopkins late or other receivers there at the end of the first. I'm not completely opposed. It just depends on where your draft spot is.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're at the end of the draft, I have no problem taking Adams. I have no problem taking Kelsey, depending on the situation, obviously,
Yeah.
where you are.
Love that.
But I know the question was wide receiver, but I assume you just meant anything but a running back because
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
kind of, the whole, I mean, the running back hoarding that's been going on so far in best ball and redraft. Well, I haven't done redraft yet, but the running back hoarding in best ball is pretty out of control. I mean, it's like there's guys that are starting 5-6 deep running back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, why are you taking like Cam Akers over, like, say, Michael Gallup or Robert Woods or whoever's there? What are you
That's what
doing?
I don't get. Like, I draw the line. I'm like, guys, like, it's Robert Woods. Don't disgrace the man.
Right. I
What are
mean,
you
and
doing?
instead, you're taking a rookie running back or you're taking a committee running back, and it just doesn't make any sense.
No, that's crazy. No,
I-
you gotta take value where it falls.
If I
That's
take a
exactly
running back
it.
in the first round,
Depending
I
on
really
your
only
draft
want-
position, you just take best player available,
Yeah.
regardless of the position, and let the chips fall where they may. Do plenty of mock drafts so that you have a pretty good feel for what you'll be ending up with if you don't go with XYZ position, but don't force it.
No, draft from every position in your mocks too. Like I've been definitely someone that's like, oh well, hopefully I'm going to get in the first 5 picks. You never get in the first 5 picks. You have to draft from every position so you can see the type of team you end up with. That's how you're going to be a good fantasy player. Is if you know how to play from every angle. Plus, if you've played from those angles, you know who those people are looking at, so you know who has potential to fall to you. But when you're drafting that way, so just absolutely mock draft as much as you can.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at those top 5 wide receivers, I don't mind like any of them in the first round. I don't hate it at all. I mean, you don't have to do that in the first round, which is great because of all the, like you're saying, Jen, the just hoarding of the ridiculous hoarding of running backs, just insane.
You can't start them all.
Yeah, and that's one of the that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask the question, and I'm glad you all took it to where you did, because it feels like this season more so now than I've been able to see over the last few, the narrative that's pervasive throughout, and I consume a lot of content, whether it be websites, podcasts specifically. The narrative right now is so RB heavy and driven, which I'm not mad at it at all, especially if you want to go hot and heavy on your RBs late, or if you want to do it early. Whatever you want to do what you do and enjoy it. But it feels like the conversation right now is so RB driven, and that we're seeing even and Scott Fishbowl is different because wide receiver scoring is devalued to some degree, and so you'll see those things take place. Superflex as well. But when you start seeing DeAndre Hopkins going at the end of the second round, and I'm just kind of like, all right, can we talk about this real fast?
I was going to say, did DeAndre Hopkins die or
Yeah.
get some kind of disease or
Right
something?
there with
Like,
me, yeah.
he's not chopped liver. Why is he going so late?
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was just curious.
He is, and I feel like Julio is dropping too for some
Julio.
reason. Like,
Absolutely.
Those are my top
I
five.
will
right there.
take him every time coming around the turn at the end. I will take him every day, all day, and people just let them go.
We should have him on this podcast, and then you could say, it's me and Julio down at the StreamYard.
Exactly.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
And then you
anyway,
can throw the Corona in there, right? Goodbye
That's-
to row.
there-
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Queen
Hey,
of
that's
Corona.
right. And speaking of Corona, that's my next point, Jen. Thank you. Nice
Yes.
transition. I love how you read my mind. But when it comes to, you need to have depth at all the positions. If you've got to start 3 wide receivers and only 2 running backs, then getting a wide receiver of great value early or mid or whenever in the draft, you need depth at every position, because this COVID thing is going to affect everybody at some point during the season, if
100%.
not cut it short completely. But you've got to have the backups. I don't think rosters are going to be deep enough in redraft. I think there should be, like, for this year, an extra 3 or 4 spots, to be honest.
At least.
There's no
Honestly.
IR. There's no IR in most redrafts. So
True.
expand the rosters.
Yeah, but I think
Ben.
redraft should have COVID IR, and then they should also have another at least 3-4 rounds, because
Yeah.
we have no idea. Like, I'm in a baseball league, right? And I started. There were 3 guys with COVID on my team before we even started the season. I'm down to 1 right now, but and that's just baseball, and that's just so we could all have 5 guys out of 16 that have COVID. We have no idea how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But
Baseball
And
might
running
be
backs are
finishing
so
up here soon.
easily, running backs are more easily replaceable if that situation comes up than a wide receiver would be, to be honest.
Yeah.
no, I
I was just
agree.
looking at the PPR ADP, whether that's accurate or not for redraft, but I'm seeing 15 running backs taken at the same rate of like 5 wide receivers. So like Mike Evans or Clyde Edwards-Helaire in redraft.
Mike Evans.
Like Evans.
100%.
Like
100%.
what?
Mike Evans.
What is going on?
You know what? I think this is just also like a test of the times right now, where we had a draft the way that it went. And obviously a lot of these rookies are really high class, especially a fit like Clyde Edwards-Helaire with Kansas City. Everyone's excited, chomping at the bit. Yes, we're excited. But we've also been so starved of sports for so long. I think that things are just getting a bit crazy. And that's where you're seeing these weighted numbers, where if it wasn't happening like this, we might not see such a weight in that way. We would have had a training camp right now. We'd be gearing up for preseason games. We would have seen something happen to also add to the hype or take away from it. So I think that we have to think about that too. I mean, it's just a sign of the times. These times are crazy.
But that hype's going to start up once camp legitimately starts. You know how that gets. The beat writers will put out one little tidbit, and then all of a sudden everyone's on it. Like, oh, it's his year. And then everyone scrambles.
For practice, and then everyone else was eating it, and everyone else had a great game. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
And it feels like with the climate that we're in, it feels like we're more susceptible. We as a community, fantasy football community, we're more susceptible to these news blurbs really shifting culture to a degree in this time.
It's called hype. It's called hype.
We're thirsty.
But I feel like the hype train will now, has now like turned into like an entire hype go west young man. Like just
It's a hype highway.
highway.
It's a highway, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a one-way highway, and it's a 75 mile per hour speed limit.
So,
But everyone's doing 90.
and the other day,
all night
Alexa.
long.
I'm with that. Yeah.
Come on, Gabe, sing it with me.
Alexa, all night
Life
long.
is a highway.
I like how you got really deep into the mic for that.
He does not
I had to
get
make it
around.
look like I was just lip syncing.
You went full John Mayer, like the people that like talk to the mic like that.
Life is a highway.
Make love to that mic, not the J mic, the mic. Sorry, getting a little personal there.
Love it.
Crossing the barriers.
There's barriers.
So boxers or briefs?
In our windows.
I'm sorry, Sam. Can you show us that one more time? How you cross the barrier there?
Yeah, I'm trying to cross the barrier into the next window, which is next over. I was trying to get to Jen. I would just burrow this way because we're trying to get to Jen.
Is that a Joe Burrow or is that just a standard burrow?
I thought the standard burrow. If I was Joe burrowing, I'd be going way harder.
I'm still waiting for your camel jokes, by the way. Just
You
waiting.
know what? I did Google camel jokes, and
Or if you don't know any
Did you
camel
say
jokes,
camel toe?
no
jokes.
camel jokes.
Oh, gotcha.
Or how about a dromedarian?
Or how about a what?
Dromedarian,
What's a dromedarian?
That's a
just a fancy name for a camel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
J Mike, I can.
Oh
take
wait,
that.
okay. I've got one. I just googled. What
Okay.
kind of camel
All right.
throws a hissy fit when you milk it?
Hold on.
A male. I
A
don't know.
dromedary.
See?
I didn't get that joke till you just said that. I was like, oh,
Punchline. I didn't even know it, but I just gave you the punchline.
you did. And that explained the joke for me. I'm like, I don't get this. Why it's funny?
And all of a sudden, like your whole being lights up, like
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Sam, that's funny.
All right, so
Oh.
I don't know. Have I told you guys this joke before? I may or may not have. What do you call a deer with no eyes?
I have no idea.
I bet
That's
Blind
it.
deer?
No idea.
No
What do you
idea.
call-
No
what do you call-
idea.
J
what do you call
Mike.
a deer with no eyes and no legs?
Mm.
Still no idea.
No idea.
What do you
That's
what do
so
you
bad.
call? And now the last one. What do you call a deer with no eyes, no legs, and no penis? Still no fucking idea.
There's layers.
There's
Yeah.
layers.
I just
That's
kept
right.
getting better.
Gotta
One
grow up. Gotta
One
grow
goes
up.
off the other.
I could almost share all of that within a classroom of students, but then we hit a wall, and
I couldn't go any further.
Gabe, that's the difference between you and I. I teach adults, so
Right.
I can, as long as I know my audience and I'm careful, I can use that joke.
That's right.
You call Aaron says, "What do you call a cow with no legs?" Ground beef. Or you can call him anything you want. He's not going to come.
Just know your audience.
But he can't slither there on his like
Just wiggles.
with a,
Unless you
Wiggles.
call him a snake.
Oh my gosh, I'm picturing a cow slithering right
yeah. I'm sure it's not a pretty, but you know, it may happen.
now. No.
Goodness.
Oh, that would be anyway. What else y'all want to hit on before we get ready to kick rocks and get to it? What else y'all want to talk about? What's burning? What's in your loins? What's burning in your loins right now?
I think we.
feel like
I
we
think we've
covered
been discussing that all night, but
Do you want to do 2 drafts, J Mike?
If you have one, let's go.
I've got one. I think because we typically do one to compare it to a player. And since the word was said on the open bar here, live, on air, etc., I figured we should say it again and live by it. Live by the word. The word is camel toe. So who is your camel toe for 2020? All right. So I'm not even exactly sure what
What does
that means.
mean?
I don't know.
Something that sticks with you?
It might just
I think I broke J Mike again.
Yep.
Something
Really
you can't
got him
get
in
rid
that.
of.
So it might be something that you don't realize is kind of surfacing and has just gone on the wayside for the whole season. Like, you're not going to realize, like, Terry McLaurin was a top 20 wide receiver in 2019 or something like that. Like, that's so surprising. Maybe you could take that spin on it. I don't know. See, that's the open bar style, man. You're going to have to make this up as you go and compare whatever your definition is of a camel toe to a player in the 2020 NFL season. So
Okay.
with that said, I feel like Katie just stays ready no matter what. Would you mind taking the 101 on this? The 1-0 toe on this?
I will.
1 toe 1?
Gabe, I
Sorry.
will take the 101 since you passed it to me.
Okay.
And my interpretation of camel toe is something that is embarrassing when you get a picture or a selfie taken or whatever. And so from that perspective, the most embarrassing fantasy football player this year, and they'll be embarrassing because they don't live up to their hype. And I'm going to go with Chris Godwin.
Oh, okay.
Chris Godwin will be the camel toe for the 2020 season.
He is being taken quite high.
He is.
So, I'm with it. Okay.
I like that.
Embarrassing pick. Sure. We can go with that route, or you can pick a new route. I don't really care. We're just saying things right now. So, Jen, you are the
All right,
103 here. Who is your
so-
camel toe for 2020?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with something that I feel like people are trying to, I guess, make it happen, and it's not sexy, but people are trying to make it sexy, perhaps. And I am going to go with Joe Mixon because I just don't like that offensive line. I just don't like him, and people are trying to make him a thing in the first, and sometimes around to the second. But so he's my camel toe, something that people are trying to make sexy, which I don't think is.
I also
Does that work?
Yes.
Yeah,
This is going swell.
I 100% agree.
Far better than I would have anticipated.
Oh, you do? Good.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with your take on this. It's something that people are trying to make sexy, and it's not sexy. Or if you get caught with it and you're like, damn it, I got stuck with this.
Yeah.
Because later in the season, you could see that where you took this person isn't going to work out for you. And I'm going to go with someone we talked about earlier is Cam Akers. A lot of people are taking him way higher than they should, and they've already come out and said this is going to be a running back by committee. We don't even know if Darrell Henderson is going to be 110% the main guy, and then it's Malcolm Brown and Cam Akers, or there's also a John Kelly there. So I think it's too much of a mixed bag for me to take that high where people are taking him. So I'm going to go with the pick that people are trying to make sexy, and it's just not sexy. Sorry, Cam Akers. You're the camel toe.
So we've got a couple definitions, J Mike, just to kind of catch you up if you want to go on that route, or pick your own route here with the camel toe. But Katie has mentioned it being possibly embarrassing and not going so well for you. Jen and Sam are kind of going along the lines of you thought it looked good, but I don't think so. So you can hit that route, J Mike, or make up your own, but you are the 104, my friend.
Yeah, I had one of my ear pods die, and I had no idea where the case was with the other one, so I had to go on a quick bear hunt there for it. And anywho, found it. We're good.
Hey.
I'm gonna go with. Wow, this is really strange. I'm gonna go with an actual, a physical, the animal camel toe.
Aww. Uh-oh.
Oh, and then you froze on that.
I'm like, what do you
Camel
mean?
froze. Camel froze. Wow. Okay.
Oh, see there?
Wait, there you go.
Hey, J Mike.
Oh, that was
welcome back.
strange. Sorry.
Welcome to the open bar.
Internet's been doing something crazy. Trying to shut me down again, Jen. I don't appreciate it. I don't know what the powers that be are doing. YouTube's trying to shut me down again. So with that said, someone who is going to basically be ready for any and all terrains that will come their way this season, who's going to perform at a high level and basically be ready to spread their fantasy goodness. Wow, this has got real. Crap.
It's not. I'm like, you can't have a camel toe. You don't know how uncomfortable.
No, I mean like when they walk and it.
Well, isn't it a moose knuckle for a guy?
It's a moose knuckle for a guy, right?
Yeah, who's your moose knuckle for 2020?
Yeah, who's your moose knuckle? We broke him again. His mic is suddenly not going to work.
I don't know.
Well done, very well done.
Forget it. I'm gonna go with Teddy Bridgewater. I think that he's going to make a lot of these guys in Carolina way more fantasy viable than people anticipate. I think that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be able to spread the goodness around. He's going to be able to help make sure that we've got plentiful bounty of a cornucopia, if you will, of fantasy goodness coming out of Carolina between obviously CMC getting his, DJ Moore getting his, but then we're looking at Curtis Samuel also being relevant. Robbie Anderson give you some splash weeks for your best ball lineups, as people like to say, and then Ian Thomas also being someone who you're not going to hate throwing out there at tight end amongst the crowd. So I think
especially as like a 15th rounder or whatever he is.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially for the prices on all those guys, even DJ Moore. Obviously CMC's going 1 or 2 in your leagues, but with everybody else, like everyone is at a pretty nice price, if you will, if in terms of drafting or where they're going. So yep, Teddy B, my
overemphasis of the word spreading for camel toe was a little bit.
Yeah, I
made it a little uncomfortable.
But I was trying to be literal.
What kind of jeans are someone wearing to get that to spread? Goodness.
All right.
I've heard of point spreads, and I've heard of.
What?
Oh, you cut out, Kate. All right. So I am going to say, look, there are 2 sides to every camel toe, right? Sometimes equal sides, potentially equal sides. I don't know. I'm typically not thirsty for the camel toe or seeking a camel toe out when I'm out in public. I don't think so. But I'm just saying there's 2 sides to every camel toe, right? So I'm so
every rainbow has a beginning and an end.
This is true. So what I'm saying is that they're trying to force the Seattle Seahawks wide receivers to be top 24 wide receivers based off of their ADP in redraft for the most part, a little bit in dynasty too, I guess. But Russell Wilson has never done that for his wide receivers. Unfortunately, he is an incredible quarterback, but he has never had 2 top 24 wide receivers. And that's probably mostly based off of the fact that he gets a lot of his points in rushing, and he is a great pocket passer. I am team unleash Russell Wilson this year, but if they continue to just rush the ball and Russell Wilson continues to rush the ball, there's not going to be 2 top 24 wide receivers. 2 sides to this camel toe here, and Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. So I think that only one can really exist here. For me, it's still Tyler Lockett. But we'll see what happens. 2 sides to every camel toe, y'all.
Wow.
I don't know. I just every time
it end this show on.
Yeah.
There's 2 sides to every camel toe.
Yeah.
She's like, and that's how you want to close.
Okay. When my mom asks what podcast I did last night, I'm like, maybe skip listening to this one. Maybe.
Sorry, you.
I'm sorry
really...
I brought that into the podcast.
That was amazing. Don't regret it. It was so good. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say, but Jen, I do blame you for that.
I'll take
absolutely.
it. I'll take it.
Absolutely. And Katie and Sam, you don't know how much that conversation just now and the conversation this whole podcast has been appreciated by J Mike and myself off the record. But yeah, I know, very weird and uncomfortable, but oh my God, so amazing.
So
okay.
funny.
J Mike, do we have anything else? Do you have any other drafts in the dome, in the tuck, ready to go? Any sort of analogies that you can come up with?
No, the only thing I do want to say, and Katie, your workmate, your teammate over at UTH, Jordan McNamara. Mr. McNamara. Yeah, Jordan said the other day on a podcast, and I'm curious. I want to try this on some of my dynasty teams. He said, if you're not having success in a specific league, try to go and change your running back to wide receiver ratio. He was like, if you have to, go 2-to-1. And he was just talking about like basically increasing your number of running backs to wide receivers to see how that changes the dynamic of your team in terms of success. So I have a team that I want to be able to tweak that with, and I want to be able to let you know how that goes as it goes. And I meant to reach out to him when he said that because anyway, much longer and deeper story than probably you care to hear right now. But long story short, when he said that the other day, I said I want to run that by Katie just to hear her thoughts, but I'm gonna shoot that to you offline and let you know how that goes. So that's all I got, Gabe. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I do like running backs. I like to, what I say, grow them organically, which means through rookie drafts and through waiver wire. I don't want to pay the price in a startup. If I'm in a startup, that's where I'm going to build my wide receiver core, and running backs will come. Running backs come, running backs go. There's good ones every year, and you don't have to overpay. I'm not going to trade the farm for Saquon Barkley. If I don't get him in a rookie draft, I missed. I didn't get him. There's other running backs that will fill that gap. And by scouting them and being in Devy, I scout a lot of running backs are the easiest to hit on in Devy. And so if I'm in a startup, my plan is to get the running backs over the next couple of years that will fill out that roster and make it beautiful. But you need every position in order to be successful. Running backs are your stability, but you have to have that good wide receiver core.
Yep. 100% agree.
I don't think that I'm sorry, Gabe. I don't think that you need a whole bunch of fringe wide receivers, because it does take them a while to develop, but you get a nice core of some good, solid wide receivers that you can troll out every single week. And then your running backs, you catch as catch can until you get that stable full. That's, in my opinion, that's the way that I've been successful.
Yeah, and I think that one of his major points was, hey, I know where these wide receiver points are coming from. I don't have to guess about starting them and who do I start this week. When I have these few wide receivers that I have, that I know I'm going to be running them out every week. I don't have to worry about, do I bring in, and one of my favorites, do I bring in Anthony Miller this week? I'm not sure. Like, no, like I've got these studs, these few studs, or these few guys that I know I'm running out. And then I'm just filling up with running backs the rest of the way to be able to help beat your head in with you talk about the organic running backs that you're growing or cultivating for your team. So anywho, like I said, I found that intriguing when he said it, and I said, you know what, I've got to reach out and let him know how that goes. And I said, I think Katie will get a kick out of that too.
Well, and you think logically, just super generalized statement here, but just there are pretty much always going to be at least two wide receivers on the field. It's just now kind of coming to be where there are two running backs on the field simultaneously. So even if you don't necessarily have like the wide receiver one, he's still on the field, and it's potentially getting opportunity, and far more opportunity than an RB1 that is sharing time probably with another running back or in 2 running back sets, whatever, just snap counts alone, like these wide receivers are going to play more. But back to the running back thing real quick, Katie, I've been a lot like kind of just looking in and out of the stock market this year. And I get so frustrated when I miss something that just goes up by like 20% in one day or 50% in one day. And I'm like, I was thinking about that. I was looking into that one, but I didn't do it. And I missed it, but there will always be another stock for that to happen to, a la another running back for that to happen to. So, yeah, they're not going anywhere. You didn't miss out on anything just because you missed out on one of them. You look 2-3 years ago, all those running backs are dead and gone. So
yeah, there's only a handful of truly elite guys at any position. And once you're outside of the elite, they're dispensable and disposable. And you just don't want any one of them to end up the camel toe of your team.
Hey,
Bringing it back home. Bringing it back home.
2 sides. All right.
That's gonna be on a t-shirt somewhere.
I'm expecting a video, by the way, on 2 sides very soon from you.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
Got him.
I would get canceled everywhere. Unless I had y'all's support.
You got it, man. We got you bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. All right. Let's do this. Let's get out of here, J Mike. Is that what you said? Is that what you're trying to do here? Is that you trying to close this down?
Listen, man. Turn off the lights. The party's over.
Alexa.
Closing time.
Oh. Okay. Yep. I'm done.
You don't have to leave. You just can't stay here.
Can't stay here.
I don't even know what to name the episode tonight. That's how incredible
Fun as
it
fuck.
was tonight. Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, just it hit everything, all facets. Like so many things happened, and
I think we
even
talked a little bit of football, right?
We did.
A
We
little
did
bit?
even. Yeah,
That should be
a
the
little
name.
bit.
We talked a little bit of
We
football.
talked a little bit of football. No, I love a good ladies' night. We don't do it enough. We try to integrate as much as we can, but I just like a full-fledged ladies' night sometimes. Just it just brings another energy to a podcast, I swear. So I thank you 3 for going on this journey with us tonight. Katie, Sam coming in late, Jen riding out with us throughout the last 3 weeks or however long we've had this planned out. So very much appreciated. SML also coming in the clutch. So man, just so thankful and happy that it just turned out the way it was, man. Too easy. Yeah, let's do some outros. No more drafts. Okay. Look, no more toes. All right. No more Alexa. Just say what you want to say about yourself, about anything you need. Sam, we will start with you. So good to have you. What do you got to share with the people?
Thanks again, guys, for having me. This was so much fun. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Samantha R. Holt and at Sam_awesome on Instagram. If you could go ahead and give us a subscribe over on Fantasy Focused YouTube, we'd really appreciate it. We're always coming out with new content. And every Saturday night at 4:30 Pacific time and 7:30 Eastern, we have the fantasy debate where me and my co-host Derek, we go over a bunch of fun stuff. We're doing an ADP study and we're continuing our running back study this coming Saturday. So tune in. It's a lot of fun stuff for drafting.
And
Just
there's
confirm. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, J Mike.
I was gonna say it's fantasy focused. Everyone, in the event that you were not
say double D, J Mike.
With the double D.
I'll just say focused and leave it there. Yep. Not canceling me tonight. No sirree. But truly, Sam, thank you. Sorry, you were saying.
I was just gonna add to there's another kind of an actual ladies' night coming up, right, Sam?
Yeah, there's another big ladies' night for football. I'm gonna be a guest on, and there's a bunch of other women that are gonna be on it as well. So that's coming up. I need to check my calendar. I've said yes to a lot of different things, but it's coming up in August. There's a huge like ladies month, and I think a bunch of us are going to be on it. So you guys got to tune in for that.
Yes. All right. Jen, it's not Monday. You're the Tuesday mommy today. All right.
I am.
You did it.
I did it.
What do you gotta say?
If you guys want to follow me on Twitter at the Monday Mommy, I am at 444 Football, 444.com. All kinds of stuff over there. We've got a ton of content. Right now, let's see. Oh, today was actually running back day, so there's a ton of running back content. We've got a huge, massive COVID manual that I just wrote. We also have a COVID tracker, and then we have tons of we have like these cool debate articles and player profiles and just all kinds of good stuff over there. So check us out at 444.com.
And NFL, give us a season. So
yes, NFL, give us a season so we can all
Jen can put out some content for us.
Yes.
All right. Diva of Devi, Katie. Man, I miss going to breweries with you.
I know, man. We need to get back together when this COVID shit is finished and have a cold brew.
Indeed.
And man, the last time I was down there in Austin, that was so much fun. And if you ever get up here, I will cook for you. That's a given. Any of y'all, if you're in the Dallas area, hit me up. I will chill and grill, hang out at my back patio.
I am so ready to get inside of your rum pool. Your because that's what you do, right? With the pool just filled with rum, is what you said.
Not quite.
No.
I mean, it's filled with water, but definitely you can you can bring rum punch by the glass and even hook up some kind of IV if you need to.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Straight into the bloodstream. But you can find me on Twitter at ff_Skylar399. And I just recorded tonight a fun podcast on Under the Helmet with Chad Parsons. I'm co-host there. Tonight we really talked some Devi. I've been doing some Devi deep dive in this off season with so much quarantining and staying at home. But the interesting thing, the top 12 dynasty players by rank right now in Superflex, when they entered college, not a 5-star athlete in the whole top 12. So listen to that show if you want to find out who they are, what their rating was, and who was the number one at each position. They're basically no names right now. So we do a lot of fun on the Under the Helmet podcast. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. And I've been fortunate enough to be guest on many other podcasts. But love this show, and thank you guys so much for having me here.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great. The Devi game is something else, but just to consider all the 5-star, 4-star prospects, whatever, and then to see that not like kind of come to fruition in the NFL is, man, what a journey to follow that for so long. And then it just kind of flush out, I suppose. All right. J Mike, my guy, my dude, what's good?
Everything. What a night. Too much fun. To our guests, thank you all so much. Grateful for this time. I am so grateful, and I think that people sometimes think that we don't we don't really mean that when we're able to do this. But man, to be able to host a podcast, be able to meet so many cool people, to chop it up, share experiences, laugh a lot, meet new people. This is hard to beat. I'm so grateful for this. So. Katie, you picked up a nickname along the way since last time you came on. You're now the Diva of Devi. That's I know
actually had the nickname for quite a while, but I finally got official when my buddy Evan made me a Twitter Abby as well as a banner. So check it out on Twitter. I'm official now.
Strong.
Wow.
Strong.
You've always been official.
You've evolved.
Always. Since day one. Jen, thank you for not holding my past grievances against me.
No,
Even when
water
I tried
under the
to bury them
bridge.
far away.
Yeah, we are good.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for coming back through. And also, when I did listen to that episode with you and Kevin, you probably don't know this, but Kevin is the major or one of the major catalysts to me even podcasting and jumping into this in the first place. And I had no idea. I think last time you might have touched on it when you were with us, but I had no idea of just your run of jobs prior to where you are
I didn't
today.
even, you know, what's crazy is I didn't even go over all of them because I didn't even want to take up too much time. But I have had a lot of other crazy jobs in sports along the way as well. I just hit on the high ones. But yeah, I've had an interesting road to get here for sure.
What a road indeed.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you listened to that. I had a blast with Kevin. It was fun. Totally different show than this one. But
he's so good.
Time. Yeah.
Kevin's so good. Yeah. And Sam, nice to meet you. Thank you for carving out some time for us and appreciate you. Spoiler alert, I think we might be having you back again soon, but thank you very much for coming through, and it's nice to meet you. I've seen you everywhere, and I feel like you've blown up. Your star's blown up quite a bit over the last year or so, and so it's good to see your face. Good to be able to chop it up with you. Thank you for giving me a hard time and pushing me out of my comfort zone tonight. I also appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, I need it every now and again. It's okay to laugh and breathe and enjoy the lane that you run in. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I only make fun of and mess with, you know, people that I consider close friends, and that's what I do with everyone that I've gotten to meet in the fantasy community. So it means you guys are family to me, so I appreciate it.
Yeah,
we'll take it. Turn up.
Oh, and really quick, the ladies' night show that's going to be on next month that a bunch of us are going to be in is with at Club Fantasy FFL.
And that list is already banging. I don't know who else is going to be coming through, but it's stacked. So yes, please make sure y'all check that out. And that's in August, right around the corner. This is the last show of July, Gabe. I missed that part. So you can find us anywhere podcasts are: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Anywhere you can find us if you want to check us out. You could be anywhere in the world. You could be listening to anything you want to, and the fact that you choose to carve out a couple hours for your boys here at the bar on ladies' night, we greatly appreciate you all for that. To everyone in the chat, thank you all for keeping it lit all evening long. We appreciate you. We see you. We acknowledge you. Thank you. You all are the lifeblood of the show, and we continue to appreciate that. So yeah, here we are on the doorstep of the 2020 season. Let's get it. On Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck. The show's handle is at the Open Bar Pod. To my main man, FF2 sides, the host of most.
No.
Hashtag Daisy Game.
Hashtag WBM.
Gabe at FF Man Bun. Take us home.
Man, that made up for everything that may have gone off the rails for you tonight. Katie, what was that last one that you said?
I said, and hashtag WBM.
Yay. WPM and WBM. That's right.
WBM. Why be miserable? Life is short. Why be miserable?
Indeed. I think we probably have an episode named after that. I think we
do. And we've trademarked that hashtag. So
indeed.
Nobody can steal it. Nobody can steal it. They can only retweet it.
So good.
It's like Blake Bortles. You can only contain him. All right. That's it, man. I have nothing else. I was just thinking that J Mike, you said the season was upon us. It was like, would it be like this Sunday that we'd have the Hall of Fame game? Or whenever they do that? I don't even know what day of the week that would be on, but isn't it like the first
I think it's a Thursday
of August? Or a Thursday? Yeah. Yes, I don't know anything. So it'd be like next Thursday, it would be the first.
Let's go with that.
Sure. But that's just crazy that that's not happening, basically. It is weird. But positivity, Jen. Positivity.
Yes. All
okay.
Of us, yes.
All right. We will have some sort of NFL season. I've been thinking, like, why don't they? Nah, whatever. I've been thinking about the bubble, man. The NBA is probably going to work. The NBA is probably going to work. I wonder if they could just do like 4 bubbles or something, and then like they'd have to like totally throw away the schedule they made up and do something else. But I think they okay. So this has been good, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. J Mike, we're gonna be here next week. Yeah, is that right?
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Man, that's great. It's good news. Can't wait to see you again next Tuesday. 9:30 Eastern ish live. I got nothing, man. I've been doing intros. People just keep asking me to do them. J Mike just dropped a dummy blitz. J Mike,
Hey, back at it.
did a dummy blitz, so go check that out. Look for the journal as well. But I did just do an intro for a shout out to Devi, not this particular Devi diva, another Devi diva. Not a diva, but we'll throw it out there. A Devi. What's the equivalent? What can I say? A Devi dude.
That'll do.
Okay.
There you
That's
go. Devi dude.
shout out to them. You'll
got
look
it.
for that intro. Thank y'all for giving me an opportunity to create music for your podcast. Much love. For all of us here, let's put some drinks up. Or a fist up, whatever you feel the need to do. A little cheersy do to the camera. Anything. All love is necessary. This has been the open bar. Until next